Hey there, this is Pranina. Welcome back to my another interesting video. Well, friends, today in this video, I'll be sharing with you one interesting secret which will help you to improve your English fluency and communication. So let me tell you one thing that in this video, I'll cover my journey of learning language. The day when I started from zero and now I'm fluent enough, I can communicate in different accents. I can communicate in different accents like British and American. If I'll tell you that if you face the problem same, don't worry, this video will help you to understand that what should be your first step because I know and I have met many people. They have same questions. That we know about grammar, we know about translations, we know about lots of things, and we can understand when someone try to speak in front of us. The problem is while they start speaking, words translations doesn't come on their tongue. Simply, they have a same problem that if they are going to speak in front of anyone, in that case, vocabulary is not there on their tongue. So don't worry, this video will help you enough to understand that what should be your first step and what should be your second step and so on. Well, I'll tell you the day when I started my learning. Well, obviously, there must be a guru in our life to learn anything. So I had my sir, I had my teacher, my instructor who taught me the way how should I start my English language. So if I'll tell you, I was from a very Hindi background. I completed my schooling from Hindi background in schooling. So I was not having great knowledge about my vocabularies and even I don't know how to communicate, what to start first. And truly, to be honest, if I'll tell you the first day when I joined English Academy, I was not aware of that really I'm going to join here for learning language. But I started the same instructions. I started following the instruction which my instructor, my tutor told me, and I started doing it, and now I can communicate. But I want to tell you, well, while we are learning at the time of, language, so we have to understand one thing that we have to follow our instructor or tutor blindly, because he is the person who can tell you that what should be your first step. I know that most of the people, those who have knowledge about English, they come to join any institution or any tutor. They try to add on their knowledge and they try to follow their instructor's knowledge. So when you have 50-50 knowledge from your instructor and you, then obviously the way you are learning, you feel that, yeah, I have heard about that learning language is a require, collecting too many vocabularies and you need to read newspaper, watch movies and web series and blah, blah, blah. Too many things that you guys get suggestions from many different people. But I want to tell you one thing that if you're going to join someone and you feel that the guy who's there in front of me, he can teach me. So you have to follow his instructions one day. So I'll tell you the secret that is really important. So there are 5 things which you have to remember. First one is you have to understand one thing that if you find and if you face any problem in translations, first work for that. So first is you have to work for your basics translations. In the basics translations, you have to work their Hindi doing translations. If you are from very typical Hindi background, must go for it. But if you are not from Hindi background and you know about some translations, try to learn some advanced structures and advanced words, which is really very important. And I know, and I've met, even I have some students, those who are, from CBSE background, they are from very good family, but they have the same problem that lack of vocabulary sometimes, give them, hinder. They don't try to speak in front of anyone. So don't worry. First, you have to work for the translations basics. You have to work for that. If you are confident, just go for joining in, any group of people. If you are joining and if you're ready to join a group of people where people start speaking, you have to participate over there. So participating equally can help you to understand what is conversation. So the first one is try to work on your basic solutions. Now second step, what do you have to start? Second step is that every day try to add at least one word from anywhere. You have to find a word in your day routine, whether you're watching movie, if you watch a newspaper, if you watch news channels and you watch any news, or if you read newspaper, and if you're interested to read novels, try first get a single word. Like you have to add a word a day in your dictionary. So what I would tell you initially at initial level, you can start adding vocabulary in your diary or notepad. But I would suggest you try to memorize the word whole day. So I have a very good, practice which I usually perform when I find a new word. Then I just write that word and make my wallpaper on my, wallpaper on my mobile screen. So I feel that whole day we do whatever, but mobile is there in front of them at every second. So when when you use your mobile, so that word is there in front of you. So I would say this is a really great practice when you find a new word and just try to make that new word in your wallpaper. That would be really good enough. And the third one is you have to understand that join a group where people are communicating. So I know when you are working, you are a working professional, and even simply, I would say we people have the same problem that we don't have environment. So for the environment, you know that you can't find people because nobody has time to join you and start talking. So whether you can join institution or academy, there you start communicating with there. So first of all, you have to understand that start listening. Your listening can help you a lot because if I'll give you example of your mother tongue, there was no one in your family who taught you mother tongue vocabularies. If you are from Punjabi family, if you are from North Indian or we North Indian families, okay, nobody's there who can tell you the basic vocabularies when we have newborn baby in our family. So you have to start, listening as an active listener. So, if you're going to join a group or maybe join any academy or any institutions, there you have to start, you have to start listening. You have to start every day that what people start talking, what's their first word, what's your second word. And even, when you practice it, obviously after a week, you understand that what is the right way to communicate. So the third suggestion is start listening. You have to be an active listener. That would be really good enough. And one thing, don't forget to work on your pronunciation from the initial level because if you are pronouncing the word wrong, obviously you will be habitual. You will elect to pronounce wrong. So first of all, you must understand that if you are working on your pronunciation from the initial level, that will be good enough for you because your pronunciation always defines your personality. I would say really, whenever I meet, I join any, seminar and if someone comes to me for, inquiry. So I always try to, explain to my students that your accent always defines your personality. I'm a teacher. If I can communicate in different accents and I can, if I'm, fluent enough, then really that is good for me and for my student to understand that, yeah, I'm at the right instructor. So work on your accents, work on your pronunciation from the initial level. So the fourth suggestion is to work on your, accents and pronunciations. For the pronunciation, I would suggest you start reading, not reading, start watching web series, movie, or I would say news. That would be really good. News can give you lots of knowledge about what is happening, in your surroundings. And one thing, the news can help you to understand that, what is the way the conversation, what about the phrases, phrasal verbs, and all. Yeah, when you are, I would just do one thing. Yeah, when you start learning, so vocabulary, is a big, vast part. So no one can cover vocabulary with the thousands word, 5,000s. I've heard people saying, "Sir, I know 10,000 words. I have crammed 5,000 words." Sir, when in terms of communication, in terms of conversation, there's no limitations of vocabulary. So I never say to anyone that I have learned and I've crammed, crammed such words of vocabulary. So always try to understand that you have to be. And if I'll tell you my journey, really, that is really good enough. When I started it at the zero level, I was not aware of that what to start and how to start. Yeah, I was good at tenses and all, but my instructor, my tutor, instructed me that Pradeep, if you want to know that what exactly happen when you are communicating, you have to be you have to join a group when you are communicating when you are starting every day. So when you start people, when you start listening that what they are talking, so gradually you will understand that, yeah, these are the words which I have to communicate in front of anyone. So my initial level was very good, and when I started learning, I was not fluent enough. I was communicating, I was getting flow, I was getting, confidence. And then I started collecting words and vocabularies and more. And I was worried about that. Yeah, what should I do to be much fluent? I want that if I'll speak in front of anyone, that sounds good. That sounds like professional. I know somebody's talking. Suddenly, fortunately, and I met one of my friend. He was my classmate in class 12th, and he said, "Pradeep, if you want to be fluent and you want to, you want to you want to enrich your vocabulary, don't need to cram words and vocabulary. When you mug up words and vocabulary, it will never hold in your mind for the long time." So I said, "Yes, what should I do?" So there was a single suggestion he told me: start communicating, start listening. So when you listen people, and obviously you will get the flow, vocabularies and all, and that will help you enough. So my journey was really good enough. I was determined. As I was from Hindi background, I was determined. From morning till evening, I was trying to think that how to start and all. But I was doing lots of practice. Later on, when I started teaching at the initial level to the students, I was getting a right environment where I made my environment with my students. I started speaking. So one thing was there with me that I was trying to motivate myself. So my self motivation was at high peak. That's why I can communicate. Later on, I was, that was an incident when my friend forced me to talk with foreigners. And before that, I had never ever an experience of any foreigner. So the day when I approached that foreigner and I started asking him, and I was shivering, I was a bit of hesitating. And yes, I approached him and I said, "Sir, tell me, what do you feel in India? And how do you feel about Indian?" And that the guy replied, I was shocked and I was totally impressed. And that was a day when I decided that I would speak like him. I want to speak like him, an accent. What is an accent, right? I really came to know about accent from that day. So when he replied, he said, "Yeah, yeah, nah, I just want to know, what do you want to know about your country, India? Are you an Indian?" And he asked me to say, well, I would say my experience, well, it was nice experience of mine. So the day very first when I, landed in India, I was expecting a lot of things, but yeah, later on when I was in my hotel, I met too many people. I was impressed with, hospitality that I was served over there in that hotel. Yeah, I would say about India, it's a great country where I find, many great people. I feel that, yeah, somehow I heard about it. India is a poor country, so that day, I was a bit of, I was impressed with that. Yeah, I wanted to learn that accent. So I thought that I would start. And I later on, I came to know about phonics symbols, and I thought, yeah, I would start. Yeah, so I started, and now I'm here in front of you. I can communicate like British, American, and Australian accents as well. Yeah, so that was my journey, which I really, I ever said that, yeah, I will determine. I did. That's why I'm here. So these are the tips that I wanted to share with you. I hope you guys understood what I wanted to give you. I want to tell you one thing that really, no, by watching my video, you people are saying, yeah, he's speaking. Yeah, you have a great knowledge. That's why he's speaking. But truly saying, I was zero when I started my language learning course. So it was my effort, it was my practice. I would say you don't need to give up practicing. Just have to, start practicing, whether in front of anyone, whether just start speaking in front of mirror. Or when you start talking with yourself, nobody's there in front of you. I know people calls you, yeah, you're mad. But really, this is the right remedy that will help you to improve your English language. So, friends, I hope you understood what I wanted to tell you. And I think, I hope this video would be helpful for you to understand about English language. But don't worry, in my upcoming video, I will come the secret that will help you to understand how would you start, learning language and all that. So, but don't worry, and, very soon I'll be, launching my day one to day 70 challenge for learning language. So from first day, what you have to start, from second day, third day and all that. So we will start that kind of learning and all. That would be good enough for you. So thanks for watching. If you like the video, please click the like button, share with your friends, and obviously encourage me so that I can really do something interesting for you. Thank you. Bye bye.